Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the What's the Vibe podcast.
Hello.
I say first episode because hopefully you tuned in to my introduction episode that played right before this. It's just a quick little 15-minute thing. It's technically the first episode, but this is like the real first episode.
Yeah, with topics.
So I hope you listened to that introduction because I did sing in it. So I hope you guys tune into that. Unless I decided to cut it out. So maybe I didn't sing in it. I'll have to play it for you. You'll have to let me know your honest opinion.
Okay.
We're so excited because we've actually pre-recorded a couple episodes, but we didn't know what we wanted to be first. And I finally have come to the consensus that this is the first episode. So welcome to the Fake Friends episode. Before we get started, we have to celebrate.
Yeah, we do. Duh.
That is for you, madam.
This is so cute.
And we have some champagne. And yes, we are over 21.
Bitch,
Well over.
We're too damn old.
Hopefully I don't spill on anything. Can you hold my glass for me?
Yeah.
You ready? Oh my god,
Oh my
please,
God.
please don't mess it up. Ah.
Woo!
Cheers. Poppin' bottles. All right. Can I do this?
Yeah, you could do it.
If you ever want more, I'm just going to lay it somewhere safe in the non-fire zone.
Got it.
Oh, hello. Oh. Why did it all disappear?
The way it shrunk
Now that
is a scam.
is a scam. I'm just going to fill it as much as I can.
It smells so good. We should go to the winery soon.
We should. We should do a podcast episode from the winery.
Oh my god, that would be so fun. We're all drunk. I've been drunk in more than one episode, I'm sure.
Cheers.
Cheers. To health, to wealth, and to what's the vibe?
Because what is the vibe?
The vibe changes every day.
The vibe does change every day, and that's
The
why
vibe
I think it's a
changes.
good name, because what's the vibe?
What's the fucking vibe, bitch?
I will find out. Okay. So, as I said earlier, today's episode is about fake friends, because we have plenty of experience with that. And I'm sure many of you at home do as well. There's a lot to learn from those types of things. And I just feel as though as the years go by, you learn a little bit more from each of these friendships, whether
Yeah.
it's good or bad. So we're going to start, before we get into things, we're going to start with a little game.
Okay.
And this is called Make or Fake. Yes, I know it is brilliant. I just made it up. Maddie and I are just going to ask each other questions about ourselves and just to see if our friendship is
If it's
Right.
fake or if it's make.
if we make friendship or if we have a fake friendship.
Right.
Which I hope after 12 years we don't have a fake friendship. We have
We'd
been
be
friends
faking it
for
for
12 years.
We would
okay?
be faking it for a long time if we
Let's
did.
cheers to that.
Cheers.
So we know the formula, bitch.
12 years. Yeah. No, and I saw this podcast snippet the other day, and it was saying that if you are not losing friends at this age, you're not growing.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, that hit me in the heart. Because it's true. Like, we're not going to be friends with the same people we were friends with when we used to party all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And those people are still doing the same thing.
And we all just grow at different rates. So it's like, and it's no tea, no shade. Like sometimes I outgrow somebody because they're just still stuck in the phase that we were in. And I'm just no longer in that.
Yeah.
And it's not that, I hate them or anything. We're just not compatible anymore.
Yeah, no beef.
So I'm going to ask you my first question.
Okay.
I have 3 easy ones and
God.
2 that are a little bit more
Okay, let
pressing.
me pull mine up.
My first question, which I hope you get. I'll accept 2 answers.
What if I don't get any of these?
It's okay.
Like,
That's
you
how I
fake
kinda
ass
feel
bitch.
Okay, and I'll accept 2 different answers.
Okay.
What is my favorite song?
Bitch, it literally changes every day.
No, there's 2 songs that I specifically say all the time that are my favorite.
The new Ariana Grande one?
No. I mean, I do love that song. But what do I say every time it comes on? I'm like, oh my God, this is my favorite song.
Bitch, you literally say that about almost every single song on your playlist.
It's going to make sense, though, once I tell you. These 2 songs that I always say. I have like one that's like the favorite song
of all time.
Right.
I'm trying to think like who it could possibly be by. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I really
it's okay,
don't know.
It's okay. It's Say My Name, Destiny's Child.
Okay, I would not have guessed that.
No?
I
Okay.
wouldn't have.
Well, the other answer I would have accepted is After the Storm by Kelly.
I was gonna say that
Oh,
one.
you should have.
I was literally gonna say that, but I was like, no, I don't. I feel like it wouldn't be Callie.
No, it is. So After the Storm has been my favorite song for a very long time. But
I was
then
gonna say
I
that.
like really got heavy into Say My Name last year, and I was just like, this is my favorite fucking song.
Yeah.
Like ever. So,
But he
yeah.
does say every song is his favorite song.
I do have multiple favorite songs, but of all
it
time,
changes.
like those two for sure are my favorite.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna say After the Storm, but I was like, no, I don't think it would be that one. But that's valid. Okay. Let me pull my question up.
You're like, am I the shit or am I the fart?
Okay. What is my favorite type of dessert?
Tiramisu.
Yeah.
Period. And
You didn't
it's
even
actually my
fucking
favorite
blink.
now too.
Really?
It's because for years, and because you've been to all my birthdays.
Yeah.
It's always been red velvet cake.
Yes. Yeah.
And the last last year I had tiramisu because I just kind of changed a little bit. I still love red velvet cake.
That's a mature.
That's a taste palette.
Yeah.
Maturity.
I love
That's
that.
why I like beer now too.
Mm-hmm.
But
know.
yeah, tiramisu is
That-
my favorite now.
You liking beer is a surprise.
No one saw that coming.
No.
Not even myself.
I
not even the beer.
did not even see that coming because
No.
for the longest time you hated beer, which I get. Like it's very like
It's not good. I
it's
still
not
don't love it.
I love it personally, but it's not like it's like amazing where you're
Right.
like, oh, this is so good.
It's not like flavorful to the point where you're like,
But
oh
there's
my
just
God, I
something.
drink this for the flavor.
There's something about an ice cold fucking beer in like a chilled glass,
I can
freshly
understand
poured.
that.
out of the tap. You had a long stressful day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about wine, though. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I can really go down to a glass of wine.
Right. I like a glass of wine with a nice steak, a
Mm.
nice juicy steak.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, second question. This one's
I'm scared.
maybe obvious, maybe
Uh-huh.
not.
Okay.
If you just take a gander in this room, you already know my favorite color.
Yes.
What is?
Purple.
What's my second favorite color?
Green.
Yeah. I got one right here. I got a
Yep.
green chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Green is my second. In case I do ask you in the future, my third favorite color is yellow.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't.
In case we do play make or fake
And my
again.
fourth favorite color is.
And this is the tier list, and I have a diagram.
And my 12th favorite color is
Magenta,
periwinkle, pussy pink.
pussy pink, booty hole brown.
Literally. Okay. What is okay. What is my like favorite hobby that I enjoy doing in my free time?
Snowboarding?
Yeah.
Period. Yep.
I don't really have any more hobbies other than making money, bitch.
Making money is a motherfucking hobby. My hobby is this podcast.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay. This one I think you can get.
Okay.
Can you name 5 countries that I've been to?
Yes. Sweden, Ireland.
No.
That's not a country?
No, I haven't been there.
Not Ireland. Fuck.
I have been there. No.
Sweden. What's the fucking one that you went to? I know you went to France.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one that you took the train to go to?
Yeah, I know you're thinking about it. It's
It's
right
not-
next to
Is it Greenland? It's Iceland? No. Fuck. You took a train to get there.
Yes.
I know you did.
I did. Well, it was technically a bus.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. Okay.
Where I went to school, you haven't named that country.
England.
Yep. And it's right next to it.
I don't know my geography.
So the name, the first half of it is a male name.
Fuck. It's literally on the tip of my tongue too. Sweden, Ireland.
No,
I keep saying Ireland. It's not fucking Ireland. Sweden, Italy. No. Oh my God. My laugh. Okay, I'm canceled. I'm just saying random shit at this point.
Italy, Bulgaria, Hungary.
Fuck. I'm so dead. You're like, no. I'm not a fake friend, I promise.
She's really not.
Okay.
She knows what my butthole looks like, so at least you got that. Sweden?
Sweden. Paris.
France.
France. England.
Yes.
America.
Oh, well, we can count that. There's
and
2 you're missing. And
let me think. Oh, Greece.
Yeah. There you go. The other one was
what the
Scotland.
Scotland. Ireland, Scotland is the same fucking
It
shit.
is the same shit. Who
I'm
knows?
sure it looks the same, at least
Yeah.
similar.
Period. All right. What's your next
Ireland.
question?
Ireland,
Italy.
You're like, no.
The thing is, the last 2 questions are actually the hard ones.
Great. What is my favorite ice cream flavor? This is kind of a hard one because it's not like
I'm trying to think what you normally get.
it's not like a regular flavor. Like it is, but
It's not, no. Your favorite ice cream flavor?
yeah, it's kind of tough. It's a nut. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I was thinking like green nut. Oh, pistachio.
Yeah,
Okay, period.
that's my
I almost said
favorite.
mint and chip, but I was like, I don't think she likes mint and chip
I'm
like
not
that.
a mint chip girly.
Yeah.
I'm not like a mint girly.
I
But
kind of am, but it's
depends on
not
my
like an
mood.
everyday.
Like if there's mint ice cream and I want ice cream, I'll eat it. But if I have options, I'm not choosing that.
Right. You know what? I never get the people who say that eating mint is like eating toothpaste. I'm like, my toothpaste does not taste like that.
I wish my toothpaste
I know.
tastes like that. No.
I'd be eating my damn toothpaste.
Yeah.
All right, this one's a little bit harder, but I think you might be able to get it because
Okay.
I've told you a billion times.
Okay.
What was the name of the album I'm currently working on?
Oh fuck.
And I played you a song
Mhm.
with its name as the title that I'm no longer using.
Oh shit.
And it has to do, I'll give you a hint. It has to do, it's related in some way to the gym.
Oh, fuck.
I still might name it this, but it's not really.
It's not. I don't want to say that.
No, but that's
it's
one of the
similar.
words.
Okay.
You're literally just missing the word right in front of it. What do you do before the gym? Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I was like, wait, I do remember this. Yeah.
For the girlies at home, I am working on an album, and it was called. It still might be called that, but who knows? I'm gonna bleep it out, but I'm kind of pondering with the name.
Oh,
Like
I like
a
that.
fish, like, like how a fish doesn't see that they're in water until they go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
I
like
love that.
Like
That's
you don't
good.
see shit for what it really is until you go outside the box.
Out. I love that.
Right.
Different perspective.
Right.
I love it.
All right. You're up.
Okay. Is this our last one?
Or
Or
we
one
have
more?
one more after.
Okay. What is this is kind of like a open question, but what is my biggest accomplishment so far in my life that I
would
consider?
say opening your own business.
Yes. Bitch.
Period.
Yep. I feel bad because it's taking me 10 years to guess yours and you're just
Well,
guessing
'cause
mine like
I
that.
have very specific questions.
Yeah.
And I've also had more time to think about it.
Yeah, because he sent me a text like, think of questions.
Like late last night.
So I'm thinking like, okay, like mine was like, I thought we were asking each other questions. Like I was going to ask him like, oh, what's your most embarrassing moment? Like I thought it was something
Oh,
like that, but not
I don't want
like,
to tell you that.
and I have those written down, but not like we're asking each other questions. So I
Mhm.
fucked up on that one. But anyway.
It's all right. All right. This one's going to be hard. This is the hardest one.
Okay.
But you actually might know the answer.
Okay.
Well, you do. You just may have forgot if you
Okay.
don't know it off the top of your head. Why am I Roy the Third and not Roy the Fourth?
Because your brother, your older brother is with a different dad.
No.
So wait.
Why am I the
Is
third?
it because somebody died in your family?
No.
Okay.
So do you know why I am the third?
Because you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Legally, my name is Roy the
The
Third.
third. Yeah.
Because I'm named after who?
Your grandpa. Your dad.
Who's named after?
His dad.
And fun fact. So maybe I haven't told you this. Maybe I have. My great grandpa, his name is also Roy.
Oh, wow.
So I could be the fourth. I am the
you're
fourth
right.
Roy.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm not the fourth legally is because my great grandpa has a different middle name.
Oh, so it doesn't count if you have a different middle name?
I could be, if they really wanted to, they could say I'm Roy the fourth,
Yeah.
but my full name is the third because me, my dad, and my grandpa all have the same full name. The great grandpa has a different middle name.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's like he started the first name, but then your grandpa started like the first and the middle name.
Right.
Interesting.
And last.
Yeah. That's super cool. That's
right?
3 generations.
I know.
Still alive. Still alive and kicking.
My kid, if I do have a boy, I'm not going to
Roy?
continue the same like tradition, but it's
Okay.
going to be similar. I like the name Royson.
Yeah.
So my parents almost named me Royce.
That's
and
cute.
It's funny because my grandpa, my mom's dad,
Mhm.
God rest, he is dead.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. honey. He wasn't very like in our lives. So one year, I never got many like birthday cards from him at all growing up. I got one, and it said Royce on it. And they were like, we didn't name him that.
Oh my God, he doesn't even know you.
No, he didn't even
It's like,
know.
happy birthday, Royson. We love you.
And I like Royce,
yeah.
but I wanted to take it a step further because I really liked the name Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, why don't I just do Royson?
That's cute.
So I really like that name.
That's cute. I feel like you can still count it. Like,
I'm not going to give him the fourth or anything. Like,
Yeah.
it's just going to be Royson. I think I'm going to do Bishop as his middle name, which is Brent's middle name, my
I
brother.
like that. That's a
Yeah.
cute name. I like that.
Cute.
Period.
And if the microphone can pick up on it, my cat is trying to get in, but we are not going to let
She's
her
not
in.
allowed.
She's not allowed. All right, you got one more question.
What is like a little quirky item that I used to collect when I was younger?
Ooh, a quirky item you used to collect when you were younger. It's not teddy bears or like
No.
stuffed animals.
I don't even know if you ever know this.
Oh my God. I think
think
I
you do.
do, but oh my God, it's
I
been
used
a
to have
long time.
Shelves and shelves and shelves of these little quirky little things.
Ah. Are they animals like
Yeah,
of some kind?
It's an animal.
Pigs.
Yes.
Period.
I literally used to have every single time I'd see a pig, anything, stuffed animal, piggy bank, fucking snow globe, anything, I would get it. And I literally had shelves in my room when I was younger.
Period.
And I was just talking to my parents, and I was like, "Where did that go?" My mom's like, "You donated all of it." And I'm like, "That is so sad."
You
Because
should have
like
kept one.
I know I have like one, but it's like a Christmas ornament, and it goes
Okay.
on the tree. But
Yeah.
it's like I
you
have
don't
so
keep
much.
shit.
I don't.
You don't keep
I don't keep
anything.
anything sentimental, and it's actually kind of sad.
See, I have shit from literally ages ago. I
We
keep
know.
a lot of shit.
We know,
And it's
bitch.
all under my bed.
But I think that's also like a good thing.
yeah,
you know?
the thing is like I actually do take pride in being a sentimental person
Yeah.
because it is really nice to go back on the things that I have.
Yeah.
Even though like half the time it just takes up room.
Right.
Like you don't need that shit. I used to have shit. I still do have shit all over my room, but
More.
It used to be way more. I would be like, I need to display this and that and this and that, and
I
I just
remember
now have put it all in storage.
When we like went through your room because you were gonna like move everything around and get new furniture and stuff, I was like, "You can throw this away," and he's like, "No, I can't." And I'm like, "You need to throw this away. You need to throw that away. You need to throw that." He's like, "No, I can't." And
she's
I'm
like, just
"That's
throw
crazy."
away everything. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I can't
And
do
for
that.
me, I'm like, my mom's like, "You're not gonna keep that." I'm like, "No, I don't need that." Like, I'm very like very minimal.
Yeah.
I barely have anything in my room, and I think when I do have a lot in my room, it stresses me out.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, your room, I don't like. It's your space. Like, I know that.
Because it's
It's
my
different.
space.
Yeah.
And like you know that how my space operates. I know how your space
Yeah.
operates, and that's just how it is.
Very much. I like my few little things and my plants, and I'm good.
Yeah. Let's finish our glass.
Okay. Cheers. Let's get us another one.
Hold that for me, please. Another one.
Another one.
If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We'd love
Like
to
and
have you.
subscribe and follow us on Instagram.
If you're on Spotify, please give us a favorite.
It's like, oh shit.
I was like, oopsies. We're pouring. Oh wait,
Pour it up,
maybe we
pour it
can
up.
do ASMR right now on your mic.
Oh my god, you're so
Let me pour it.
Okay.
Oh, that was beautiful. Are we almost the same? Yeah, whatever.
It's fine. Wow. I hope that sounded good. I'm like,
she's like, oh my God. Period.
Breathing down my neck. That's so funny.
All right. Before we get into our main topic of the day, let's talk.
Okay.
Let's Talk is a segment where we're just going to talk about some things that I want to talk about.
Duh.
First of all, how are you doing, Madison?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay.
You just recovered from being sick.
I just recovered from being sick. I had a mental breakdown with my manager at work today. So,
Oof.
but I'm okay. I feel like I'm in like going through growing pains right now when it comes to
literally same
where I'm at in life and like where I want to be. And I told my manager, I'm like, I feel like I'm like a snake or like a lizard like shedding its skin, but like I'm not at the point where it's fully coming off yet. Like I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So
you're in a transition period.
yeah. And I just can't wait to get on the other end of that.
Girl, amen to that.
But
something I really need to talk about is my manifestations lately have really been coming true lately, and it's actually quite insane.
I love that.
So nothing like, I mean, my big manifestations are more money.
Right.
And that has not come yet. Although I am actually doing a lot better.
Good.
Which I'm really glad. I've been bouncing and I'm like, okay, girl, we're doing good. And so I'm really proud of myself for that. So in that sense, that has came true. A couple other things. This is big for me.
Okay.
You know, there is a shopping center that is opened next to my house.
Yes.
And they have opened a Costco there. They have opened Starbucks.
Yeah.
I've just been praying and praying. Will you guys please put a Cane's there?
Oh, they are?
And they're putting a Cane's there. They're literally.
You're like, I manifested that.
They built, because all the buildings that were there were already leased out. Everything was filled up. They got Chick-fil-A. They got fucking Chipotle coming.
Farmer Boys.
Who the fuck eats
fuck.
that? Even though I ate that yesterday. But I've just been saying, like, please give me a Cane's, because we have two Cane's in town, but I'm in the middle of both of them. They're not
close
anywhere near to where I can just be like there and back.
Yeah.
Now they are.
Down
and
the
it's
street.
literally down the street, like 2 minutes. And
That's
that
so nice.
is one of my biggest manifestations that I've been putting into since that shopping center opened well over a year ago. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all good.
Well over a year ago, the shopping center opened and it's been developing, and I've just been praying for a Cane's, and I finally fucking got one.
Damn, we don't smoke anymore, but imagine if we did.
Imagine
we have that shopping center right there.
That would be unhealthy.
Oh.
But I wouldn't care.
You would see us on this podcast. The next time it would be like this big.
Maybe we'll do a mukbang episode with.
Oh my god, we fucking should.
And we can take like an edible and then get
or
a
like
bunch of Cane's.
or like Michis.
I
love Michis. I love Michis.
Okay, and something else I've been wanting to ask. For Christmas, I got your dogs a toy.
They love them.
Okay, that was my question. Have they played with them?
They literally tore them apart. They love.
Good.
There's still some of them. I think you got them too, or two, or something.
I got one that was a Mariah Carey dog.
Oh, they ripped that shit up.
They said all I want for Christmas is that,
because it's like a vinyl CD. They ripped it up, but they love that one because it like makes like that crinkly noise. They love that one, and they also have the one that was like the 3. It's like connected by the rope. Yeah. There's still some pieces to that one left, but we keep that one. Yeah. Because they're animals.
Okay. I just wanted to know an update about those toys.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Something else I wanted to talk about is supporting friends' businesses. So obviously we talked about this just a second ago. You have your own business, Miss Eye Candy Aesthetics.
I do.
She is an esthetician. She does facials. She specializes in lashes, and she can do waxing as well. Best believe that my pretty pink hole is being kept very uptight because of my queen right here.
Very tight and right.
Tight and right, honey. And I appreciate that.
Of course.
And give us a little, like, what inspired you to do Eye Candy Aesthetics? Like, why are you doing it?
I feel like I always have just been drawn to beauty. I mean, obviously I look crazy right now, but I've always been like,
way?
No, I don't have makeup on.
Bitch,
or like,
you're hot. Shut up. Continue.
I love like hair. I love makeup. I love lashes. I've literally been getting my lashes done since I came out the womb. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna dabble in that. And I feel like I went to college and like nothing ever really felt like it sparked like that fire in me, you know. I was just like, ugh, I hate this. I hate going to class, like blah, 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 blah. And nothing really like made me feel like this is what I should be doing until I went to beauty school. Like, yeah, it was really hard and like very draining and exhausting, but it also was very rewarding at the same time. And I kind of just knew like, this is what I want to do. So yeah, here we are now, a year later. It's been a year since I've been in school, which is crazy.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I am here now, and building up my clientele. I have my own space. And I feel like that, like you said, is like one of my biggest accomplishments, just because like I told myself I want to do it. And so I did. Yeah. And like, honestly, I give credit to you because you inspire me, because anything he says that he's going to do, he does. And I can't relate to that up until now.
Now you can.
Up until now, because if he says he's going to go to Greece by himself for a couple months, he is. If he says he's going to put out an album, he is. Like, if he says he's going to get into crocheting, he fucking is. And it's like, I have so much respect for that, because I've always wanted to be that type of person. And you definitely have inspired me to like stick to it, like even when shit gets hard, because there's so many times I wanted to quit, and I was like, I can't.
Even
I'm
like
too far in.
Like this podcast, I've almost given up so many times making. It's not even out, and there's like already so much work that has gone into it. But for me, like, I'm just so much like, especially if it's something that I'm really passionate about, I'm like, look, if it's something you want to do it. You're the only person that can do it for yourself. So like, and I think that that's so important, like it is anybody to know, like, no one's going to do it for you. So just do it yourself. And
I also think too, I was the type of person that would like kind of sit around and like wait for opportunities to come to me and not make my own opportunities. Yeah. And I realized I'm fucking 25 years old. This shit ain't working. Something's not working. I need to start really grinding and like figuring out like what my path is, you know? And like, I feel like we blinked and we're this age now. And I'm like, oh my God, like I need to stop fucking working at and start making something for myself. So yeah, I definitely am happy with where I'm at. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm a lot closer to that.
But you're getting there.
That was literally what my breakdown was earlier. I was just telling my manager, I'm like, I can't do this here anymore. Like, truly. I'm like, I go and I have clients and I do what I love, and then I come to like this place and it's like so much like a step down, 3 steps down to what I actually want to do. And I think that's really hard. But I also know that like I have to do what I'm doing now in order to get to where I want to be. Yeah. You know, like nothing happens overnight. And I think I learned that too, like through beauty school. But yeah.
I love that. And that's why I wanted to make it a note that make sure you support your friends' businesses, whatever it is. For me, I always ask my friends, support my music, support my podcast. Like, if you're my friend, that's what you'll do. Yep. Even if, like, for me, like, I don't have to get waxed. I don't have to get my, eyebrows done. But yeah. I mean, I want to. But, like, it's also just about supporting your friends. Right. And that's, like, super important. Although, something that bothers me is when somebody starts their own business and they change their main Instagram into their business Instagram. I hate that.
Thank you.
I just had a fallen soldier recently. One of my friends. You remember?
Yes. Oh, with his fucking carpeting? Or tile flooring?
His tile flooring. Like, love that. Amazing. I'm so happy for you. Please do it. Like, absolutely 100% do it. But he just changed his profile picture
to his business.
I'm like,
yes,
no,
I know.
Don't
exactly
do that. Create a separate Instagram for your business, because bitch, I will support, but I'm gonna be muting some posts every now and then if you're doing like floors and stuff.
I'm muting your stories and I'm muting your posts because I don't give a fuck.
And I will book an appointment, a session, whatever with you when the time comes.
I agree. No, I 100%. I could not have agreed more, because I also hate too when I followed this lash brand who like she has her own trays, she has her own supplies, everything. I'm like, oh cool, like I want to support her. You know, she's also a small business. And then she posts on her story she's at a wedding. I'm like, girl, I don't care. Yeah. I do not care that you're at a wedding.
The two have to be separate.
They have to
Maddie
be separate.
has her Instagram and she has Eye Candy Aesthetics. I have my Instagram. I have What's the Vibe podcast. First of all, I have 20 Instagrams for every sub thing that I like to do.
Literally. No, it has to be separate. I cannot stand when I'm clicking and it's just a constant, like, what you do on the side. Like, I get it, I'll support you, but it needs to be 2 separate things. I want to see you do drugs in the club, right? But then I also want to see you go to work on Monday,
hopefully,
but separately.
Right. Yeah, definitely needs to be separate.
I'm so glad you said that because I could not have.
I will support, but it needs to be separate, honey.
100% separate. I'm not trying to see you do construction.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. This is my last point for Let's Talk.
Okay.
I wrote an essay yesterday.
For fun?
No.
Oh,
for
okay.
school.
Okay.
It's for my linguistic anthropology class.
Wow.
You're like, what is
Fancy.
that? I couldn't tell you. But it's about like the speech communities that we belong to and blah, 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 blah. So
it's probably interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I wrote an essay and I talked to her about it beforehand and was like, oh, I kind of want to write about, because it has to do a lot about how you speak, like your dialect, your tone, your style, but also what words you use, like your jargon, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I wanted to write mine about how my voice is very feminine and it's gay presenting, like how a lot of queer people,
gay coded.
Yeah, a lot of queer people speak very feminine, like
right.
this is how we are. And she's like, yeah, you should write about that. So I did. And I talked about some of the jargon that we use in the queer community.
Oh God. It's like it's giving.
And hang on. I need you guys' opinion. Like, I don't know. I took an edible last night before I went to bed.
Okay.
To help me sleep. And I was really, really overthinking it.
Oh no.
Because I was like, oh my God, I think I just did too much. Like, maybe I should not have sent this in. Because I talk about serving cunt.
I feel like
giving cunt, okay?
I think she could respect that, though.
I'm going to read you a little passage, okay? And you just tell me if this is not okay. I've already sent it, so it's too late. So I said, within this community, we have endless jargon that many people outside of the queer community simply just do not get because it sounds crazy, I will admit. For instance, we say the phrases, you ate that down, honey, a lot. To many, this could be a very confusing phrase, and one might think it has to do with food because of the word ate, but has nothing to do with that. And simply just means you did amazing at whatever we are referring to. I would say you ate that if I'm talking about how you put together your outfit, or if you put someone in their place, or even if you showed off a really cool talent. Okay. It just means whatever you did it really well. Something I really love about the queer culture and community is we tend to take words that have foul meanings in today's societal standards and turn them into things that are great. Bear with me when I say the word cunt is used as a compliment in the queer community and especially in my speech community of queer friends. Something we always say when someone looks amazing, we would tell them they are serving cunt or giving cunt.
Okay.
This is a very common in any queer speech community. That word for many years has been associated with women as something derogatory to call them, but in this space, it has been reborn to uplift.
Honestly, I really respect that.
Yeah?
I think that was really good. It was also very well written. It's not like you're just being like fucking obnoxious and like using that. Like you're using the words, yes, but you're also explaining it in a really good way.
So it's not.
No,
I'm not doing too much. Like it's. Do you think like it's fine?
No, I think it's perfect. I know what you're talking about though. When you take an edible and you're like, oh my God.
Like, bitch, I really just said cunt 4 times to this poor old white woman.
I also think she will respect that a lot, knowing that like she can learn something from it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's amazing. She's like, you're serving cunt.
She's like, wow, you look cunt today. I literally would give her a gift card. Like if she said that to me, I would be so happy.
And a kiss on the lips.
I'd literally be like, She said, you look cunty today. I'd be like,
ate that boots down.
Boots down, honey. Fun fact, her son plays for the 49ers. She just went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, you looking for a little son-in-law?
That's really cool though.
A little
Going
bitch-in-law?
to the Super Bowl is crazy.
No, she literally went.
That's like a lot of people's like bucket list.
Yeah.
Not mine, but someone's.
Not mine. No, it is mine. I mean, if I was married or with somebody that is in the Super Bowl, I'd definitely go.
100% free and I don't have to pay for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Side note, what is like your dream sponsorship?
Probably. Oh, that's a really good question. I think probably One Size Beauty. I love all of their makeup products. Literally their setting spray. I don't know what's in it. It's crack. I can put my makeup on at 5 a.m, go snowboarding all day, taking my goggles on, taking my goggles off, moving around, hitting my face in the snow. My makeup looks so good at the end of the day.
Period.
It's insane.
Shout out.
So One Size Beauty, definitely that. And maybe even like fucking, what's it called? What's the furniture store at the mall?
Ashley's Furniture?
No, at the mall.
Furniture?
Pottery Barn.
Pottery Barn?
I would love a Pottery Barn
Okay.
sponsorship.
I think mine's Up and Up from Target.
Okay, that's actually really
They
good.
got everything.
They have
They
everything.
got baby wipes. They got zit cream. I mean, those are like the main things I need.
No, they have everything.
Up and Up.
They even sell food.
Well, yeah. They got knockoff of everything. Oreos, fucking
That's smart.
Chips Ahoy.
That's a smart one. You're setting yourself up.
I'm like, Up and Up, girl. Cool.
Cool me. One size
Come on,
beauty,
what's the vibe?
Patrick Star, cool me.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our main topic. I feel like
Let's do it.
we talked for a really long time, but it's
did.
okay.
We'll cut it
So, our topic today, as we've said, is fake friends. We have been friends for 12 years.
That's crazy.
12.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a preteen.
We saw each other turn 13 years old.
We literally were together since we were 13 years old.
Yeah.
So, what's the formula? Why do we work? Why have we withstood the test of time?
And the thing is, it's really simple too. Like
It
it's
really is.
not this crazy thing that people make it seem. I really put it down to 3 simple things. It's trust, it's respect, and it's communication.
Yup.
I learned that from my mama. Truly, any relationship, the only way it can work is if you have trust, if you have respect, if you have communication. If you don't have one of those 3 things, you don't have a relationship.
You don't have longevity.
No, at all. And I just think like anytime we have any type of like agreement, or you hurt my feelings or I hurt your feelings, or like disagreement, whatever, we talk about it.
Right.
And it's like a respectable adult conversation. It's
Right.
not like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like
Right.
something very passive. It's never that. Like it's very open and respectable and honest, and like that's I feel like really why we're still here, you know?
It's because we're real. And honestly, what makes a fake friend is missing one of those qualities.
Yeah.
I trust you literally with my life.
Yeah, me too.
I literally, like, you are the one person I'm like
Yeah.
no matter what, I trust.
Yeah.
With all my secrets, everything.
Everything.
And what
There's honestly
respect,
nothing
you're
that
the,
I wouldn't tell you.
You're the person I respect, like, probably the most.
Yeah.
Like, I respect, your boundaries, your wishes, all of that. And I know it's
Yeah.
the same vice versa.
Yeah.
And communication. That is huge. Like,
Huge.
Maddie and I have always told each other, like, whenever something bothers us, we say something.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen very often at all. Over 12 years, I think we maybe had to, like, discuss, like, have a
3
discussion,
maybe?
like, 3 times.
Yeah.
And so it's just about that. And it's just also, it's like, if there are little things that bug you, you have to learn to let that shit go because
Right.
it's not personal. But it's just like, it's so simple, but a lot of people have such a hard time with that.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people end up falling out, because they're like, oh, like, I'm just not going to say anything because blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, then obviously you don't really care that much about them.
And I also think too, like it's also like you're not gonna have those friendships with everyone where you do feel the need to communicate your feelings
Right.
to them. Like there's some times where people will cross you and like it's like, I put it in perspective, like that relationship wasn't even worth it for me
Right.
to say something. But if it is worth it, then 100%, like I will always say something. And I also think people also let their emotions really get in the way
Yeah.
and they act on them and they're petty. I feel like being petty is like a trend where they like want to like, okay, yeah, they hurt my feelings, so I'm going to go post
It's
this.
tit
or-
for tat.
Exactly. And it's not supposed to be like that. Kind of like playing off what you said, like you have to pick your battles with somebody. Like, okay, yeah, like we might annoy each other sometimes, but I'm not going to go make a fight out of it.
Right.
Like we're just going to have some time apart and then we'll come back and be like, I miss you so much,
And that's the thing too. Like Maddie and I, like we have our phases, especially during COVID. We were seeing each other every single day,
Every
multiple
day.
times a day. I literally would, we'd wake up at each other's house and then take a break and then go to each other's house later.
Yeah.
And then we have times where we don't see each other for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Exactly.
Like, but it's about like, we still check in with each other, like text, phone, FaceTime, whatever we
Yeah.
got to do. And even if we're too busy, it's just like, just to let you know, I miss you, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 checking in, how you're doing, stuff like that.
And I also hate when people are like, are we even friends anymore? Like we haven't even talked. It's like, bitch, I don't
We have to
text.
talk all the time.
I don't text anybody every day besides literally my girlfriend.
Really.
So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and text you every day like, oh, what are you doing? Like, no, like we're adults. And like I had one girl one time who tried to be my friend so bad. And like, she's like, what's up? Like you haven't even talked to me. I'm like, girl, do I need to? Like,
You're
are
like,
you trying to eat me
who are
out?
you?
Like, what the fuck? Like,
fuck?
she's just like weird, And I'm like, I don't need it. I told her straight up. I said, we're still friends, but I don't need to talk to you every day just because we're friends. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, and I also don't like that.
No.
Like, I don't like that, bitch. Don't ask me what I'm doing for no reason.
No. Also, shout out Gwen, who is here, Maddie's girlfriend. She's off camera, but she is definitely in the scene. Okay, she knows the vibe. She right, and I've been trying to say that.
Yeah.
But through our course of our 12-year friendship, we have almost like tried to audition people to be a part of our group.
Very, very much.
We've had people come and fucking go.
These
honey.
bitches drop like flies.
These bitches disappear like Houdini. Okay, they come and go, and it's just like. And the thing is, though, we do have our respectable time with them. Like, we have fun. We've had great memories with some of these people.
Great memories.
And some of them just turn out to be snakes in the end. Some of them, it just falls out. Yeah. But some of them are motherfucking snakes.
But most of them. Also, too, I feel like we're not the type to cut people off. Like, if something happens, we'll distance ourselves, whatever. But if you really got us fucked up, you will never hear from us ever again.
No.
And I hate when people are like, oh my God, like what happened? Like, bitch, you know what happened.
You know what happened. You know what the fuck you did. Don't even try to lie.
And I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you because you're a grown woman or a grown man who knows what you did. So. Right.
And we got some stories. Let me motherfucking tell you.
Like, who are we starting with?
Okay. I'm going to start with.
Are we bleeping names or no?
Yes.
Okay. We just fucking just like.
We just air it out.
Like, I hope you're watching this.
Motherfucking bitch.
Snake ass bitch.
We just get tattoos.
We get each other's name.
I only keep names in if we're on good terms with them.
That's a good idea. We're not trying to get fucking sued.
So shout out Katie, because you're the only bitch that we can actually not bleep out because we love you.
We love you, Katie. Yeah.
We'll get into that. I'm going to talk about first because she was somebody that I was friends with. If any people that have been following me for a long time, you definitely have probably seen me with this girl. She and Maddie at one point were literally like my two best friends in the whole world. Like, it was just and it was Maddie. Like, those two are my go-to.
We also spent a lot of time, like, all three of us together.
Yeah. And I oftentimes tried to like make us like a trio.
Yeah.
And in ways we kind of were.
It
wasn't like it was like, oh, Maddie, Roy, but it was just like we can all hang out on a regular basis and it would still be fine.
And
like,
we'd have sleepovers and
right.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God, we'd have so many fun nights with her.
Yeah.
Her and I were friends from my sophomore year up until 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say that's like 7 years.
It's a good chunk of time.
But what's crazy is like her and I know you know this, would fight like no other. Like it wasn't like all the time, but we would have these big fights where we literally would have a fight and then we literally would not talk for
They were like blowout fights though.
Yeah.
And like really disrespectful fights like on her end.
I mean, I've said some disrespectful things too, I'm not going to lie. But like she definitely took it from here to here.
Yeah, very much.
It was just like, it was hard because like, anytime I wouldn't agree with her, it's a fight. Yeah. Anytime that I couldn't always validate her feelings. Like, it is important to validate someone's feelings, but I remember this specific time she was complaining that her parents wanted her boyfriend, who was from Australia, to they were like, oh, he's gonna like move in with us for a little bit, he's gonna stay with us, like I want him to sleep in my room. They were like, no, like we have an extra room.
Yeah.
He can use that. That's what he's going to use. If he's going to be under our roof, he needs to stay in that room.
Right.
She's like, that's so unfair. And she would literally throw a fit. She was fighting with her parents and then she would tell me about it. And I'm just like, well, like, I get like you want to sleep with him and like be in the same room and all that, like, which I'm sure you guys will spend plenty of time together.
Yeah.
But I'm like, whether or not you agree with their rules, it's their house.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to think from their perspective. They don't want their daughter to be sharing a room with a man that they don't know.
Right.
This man she met while she was overseas studying abroad. And which is, this story in itself makes it very obvious who I'm talking about. But
who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? She's not watching. Or is she? No.
She probably is.
But she was just so hurt that, like, you know, they wouldn't allow her to sleep together. And I'm just like, look, like, I understand your frustration, but you have to hear them out. Like,
Yeah.
you don't pay rent. You live under their roof. They pay for food and all these things. That's their one contingency.
She also was like, what, like 20?
21.
21
I don't know.
maybe?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just like respect their rules.
Yeah.
Like, they give you everything. You know, they helped pay for.
They paid for everything.
I'm like, bitch, I would love what you got.
Yeah.
Like, they pay for all your shit except for maybe your initial utilities and your car and stuff. But I don't know. Like, I just was trying to, like, I was just trying to help her see the other side. And she flipped out and she was just like, thanks for making me feel so much worse. Like, I was just like, bitch, like,
You're
I'm
like,
just telling you, like, your parents are.
They're not these horrible people.
They're not like the bad guy here.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like kind of like trying to let a kid see the other side.
Yeah. You're just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And trying to
honestly,
show her a different perspective.
she's the devil, not them. So it's like, it's not
Yeah.
even the devil's advocate. It's like common sense's advocate.
you.
Bless you. No, you're fine. But yeah, I just
Yeah.
remember we would have fights like that, and she would just like be like, well, you make me feel so much worse. Like, and I'm so mad at you now, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, like, I'm just trying to ground you.
Yeah.
Or I'm just trying to like help you see the other side.
You're trying to be real.
I'm so real with you. And
I
that's
just
the
think,
thing.
Like, if you don't agree with your friend and you feel like you have to agree with them, or you can't tell them like, oh, what they're doing is wrong, or like, oh my God, I don't want to say like, oh, that's not right, or whatever, like, they're not really your friend then, because if you know they're going to flip out on you, you know?
Like, do you want a friend or do you want a yes man?
Yeah, like, you want someone to be super real with you all the time.
Right. And she literally would be like, she literally said, like, I just wanted to talk to you about it. Like, I didn't want you to go and lecture me. I'm like, I'm not trying to lecture you or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to help you see another perspective.
Exactly.
I'm like, I literally said this. I'm like, if you want a friend to just agree with everything you say, then go to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, it's just not. I'm not going to just like say, like, even with us, like, if you do something or if I do something that you don't agree with, I'm not going to shame you for it.
No.
But I am going to tell you how I feel about it. I'm going to be genuine. I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. But,
Yeah.
you know, do what you want.
And like, I'm not gonna, like you said, I'm not gonna shun you for that, but at the same time, we both know that it's wrong, you know, but I still love you, you know, and I still like will stand by your side, but just know, you know, like, we're honest with each other, and I think that's what friendship takes.
It really is. Her and I were friends for a very, very long time, and it really took, and we had a lot of ups and downs. It really took me hitting like a rock bottom during that 2019 year.
Yeah.
When I went through a really big situation, a really big change, which I cannot talk about on this podcast because we're not ready for that. But just know this. I had a situation that happened that took me from where I was and planted me at rock bottom. It was very bad. I lost friends. I lost a job. I lost a lot of like self-respect for myself.
Yeah.
Like, a lot happened. And all I needed at that point, I had made a lot of mistakes at that point in my life. But what I needed was support.
Was a friend.
Was a real genuine person to be there for me.
Yeah.
And she tried, but couldn't do it, because what we found out later is that she took part in the reason why I went down.
Yes.
She had went behind my back, told people certain things, and I get it. When you fuck up, you can't, like I said, you can't always agree with what I do.
Yeah.
But what you don't do is, if you're someone's true friend, you don't go behind their back and make things worse for them.
And what you don't do is play both sides.
Yeah.
A person that plays both sides is also an enemy.
Yeah.
You do not play both sides.
No.
At all.
And it's like,
doing.
and I think a big reason why a lot of people can't keep friendships is because the lack of loyalty.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. Like, if somebody goes off, like if my friend goes off and murders somebody, I do not have to be loyal to them. That is a big, big thing.
Right.
But if they fuck up, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're ostracized. Like, you're done. Like, if your friend cheats on somebody or does something that they shouldn't have done, it's not a time for you to be like, let me help you learn your fucking lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you shouldn't have done that, but how can I help you work through this so that it doesn't happen again?
Exactly.
And that is not what she did at all.
No.
She literally was just like, how can I take this little secret that I know
And make
from
it worse.
somebody who's supposed to be my best friend, 8 years, 7 years, whatever. And how do I make it worse for them? Because I know at this time I was going through a lot regardless. And it doesn't excuse my actions. I'm not saying that. But I was going through a lot. And she decided, let's kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
And then when she realized how it directly affected me, she had to dip.
And she never said why. She
No.
just said, I can't be your friend anymore.
She said, I can't be your friend anymore. And I said,
And
okay. Like, at this point, it was just like, the gunshot has already been happened. Like, I'm bleeding out. I don't fucking care.
And it also was just already very off and on. So it was like, okay, whatever, bitch. Like, go over there
Right.
then. But then later we figured out why.
Later, I found out why.
Yeah.
Is that she took part in
And
the
it's
falling
because she
down.
had a guilty conscience.
She did. And that's
she
the
couldn't
thing.
she couldn't withstand seeing him go through it. She had like such a guilty conscience, and that's why she's like, I can't be your friend. Because
Yeah.
like she knew that she fucked up.
And
But she didn't wanna own it.
She couldn't handle the guilt that she felt because she knew that I was going through like the worst time of my life.
And you genuinely were like in a bad place. Like you hit rock bottom.
And
you
she
know?
took part in why.
Yeah.
If she didn't do what she had done, I wouldn't have hit as hard to the bottom as I did.
Right.
And I'm not saying, same thing. I'm not excusing what I did. I did some things that were not good. But
We all do.
Nobody's perfect, bitch.
We all do.
But it's just like, as my friend, you're not supposed to sit there and make it worse. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be there to offer support.
exactly. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
And
honestly,
she's just in her own world now, which is fine. Do your thing.
honestly, I wish her the best, whatever she's doing.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't hold any resentment or anything like that, but that doesn't mean I can't talk about my experiences.
Exactly.
So wherever you are, fuck you, but thank you.
Yeah.
It's quite literally what I wrote my song FUCK about is about her.
It's about her.
And if you hear my song, which you should have because it's a bop, it's called FUCK by Roy. Go look it up on Spotify and Apple Music. It literally, in the song, I say, fuck you for all the shit that you've done, but I also want to thank you because I'm so much better without you.
Yep.
Because though, and honestly, this is why I'm okay with how things played out. Because she put me at rock bottom, or she contributed to putting me at rock bottom, I learned so many valuable lessons of how to pick myself up and what traits to look for in friends. Like, because I hit rock bottom is because why I'm back at the top.
Exactly.
And I never would be where I am now, like spiritually, like mentally, without that situation. That was such a canon event for me.
So it's like, thank you, but no thank you.
It's like, fuck you. Like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But thank God I was able to turn that around and benefit me.
Exactly.
So,
and that's all that's really the you really came out on top if you can say that. You know what I mean? That's the goal.
Yeah.
Even though when you're going through it, you're like, fuck, like, I don't know why this is happening, like all this stuff. But it almost makes you step out of yourself so you can reflect, so you can look inward and be like, what am I learning from this? You know?
Yeah. So that's to that bitch. I would love to hear from you.
I honestly don't have a lot of friends, but especially because like we deal with a lot of fake bitches. We'll talk about like together. So
let's talk about her because
you want to talk about now?
Yeah, let's talk about her. We can do that.
Okay.
Unless, do you have someone else you want to bring up before?
I think I'll just like touch base on like the smaller ones a little bit where people kind of show me like their true colors, and I just kind of pull away because I'm like, I don't like that. So I was friends with this one girl that I worked with. Yeah. I wasn't. I don't even know if it was friends. Like, she came to my birthday, so it was like it was at that point where like I can invite her to my birthday.
Not like besties, but we're making
cool.
friends.
Like if we work together, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, like
right.
She's like my homegirl, whatever. Kind of obnoxious,
Very obnoxious.
Definitely not the vibe that like
bitch
I would
annoyed
normally,
the fuck out of me. I'll tell you that much.
Definitely not the vibe I would normally go for, but I was like, okay, whatever. She wanted to be my friend so bad, so I was like, okay, yeah, we can be friends. And we started hanging out, and I don't even know, like shit just kind of got weird at work. because like I said, we worked together. And I remember the one time that I was like, oh, this bitch is not my friend. So there's actually 2 instances. But the first one was the power went out at work. So we all had to sit in the lobby and just like hang out until the power went on. And I didn't like any of the bitches that I worked with at all. So I was just like, I'm going to sit over here by myself. Everyone was sitting at one table together. I was like, I'm not going to go sit with them because 1, I know they talk shit on me, and 2, I don't like them. So I went and I sat by myself at like my own little table. And he walked out from the back of like the room, or like the back room at work. She walked out and she looked at me sitting there by myself. And then she looked at the group of people sitting at the table, and she like looked at both of us. And then she walked and sat with the group of girls at the table, which is fine. For me, I'm like, that drew a line in the sand, in my opinion, because for me, like, I would have been like, hey, like, come sit with everyone over here. Like, I'm going to go sit over here. Like, come with us. Like, I would be that one to include everybody. Or 2, I would have just gone and sat with the person that I considered my friend.
Right.
You know? So I was like, okay, whatever, bitch. Like, you're not really my friend then, you know? And I'm not trying to say like pick sides, but at least try to like be active and like including me, I guess. And I also feel like I'm always that bitch that gets excluded. Honestly, because I exclude myself because like I can't relate to anybody else. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to people that I work with. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try and like sit there if I was included, you know?
And it's like the effort is supposed to be the point. So it's like,
exactly.
Even if you don't necessarily like, even if you don't want to sit with just me and you want to sit with a group, like at least be like, hey, like you said, do you want to come sit with us?
Exactly.
Like, hey, queen, like how you doing?
And
sit
she
with
also
you for a second and then move to the rest.
Was just like the type to be friends with like everyone, but then as soon as that anybody left, she would talk shit about them. So I knew in the back of my head, like, oh, I know she talks shit about me. I know she does. So then I told her at work one day, somebody at work was pissing me off, and I was like, oh my God, they're so annoying. They're pissing me off, blah, 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 whatever. And then later that day, she sent me a Snapchat. And it was a Snapchat. Wasn't supposed to go to me, but she was talking about me in the Snapchat. And she's like, oh my God, Maddie told me this at work, and Maddie this, and Maddie is just so annoying at work, and like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I opened it and I literally started laughing out loud because I was like, this bitch is dumb.
First of all, she is dumb.
But she actually is a dumb ass bitch. And so I messaged her and I was like, LOL, when you send the Snapchat to the wrong person. And then she's like, wait, what? What did I even say? I don't even know what I said. Tell me what I said. And I was like, bitch, you know what you said.
Bitch, don't even try right now.
I didn't even reply. I just opened it. And I was like, bitch, you know exactly what the fuck you said. Like, don't act dumb. And I'm not going to act any type of way because I really don't even care because I already knew at that point she was talking shit about me.
Right.
So anyway, I cut her off. I was like, you're not my friend. And then I started working nights. And one of the other girls who worked nights, she was also good friends with her, but they obviously aren't friends anymore because she ends up snaking everyone that she's ever friends with.
Snake.
And she was like, oh my God, like, are you still friends with? And I'm like, no, girl, no.
Bitch, no. She's a fucking
and she's
snake.
Like, yeah, literally at the time, like, that you guys were hanging out, her and I were still friends, and she would always talk shit about you when we'd hang out. And she'd be like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, that's interesting because she would talk shit about you too.
Funny how it works.
Because she just, you know, when someone's friends with people that you genuinely would not be friends with, but you don't hate that person, so you're like, I don't know. Anyway, she's that type of bitch. And she's like, that's so crazy because she would always talk shit about you. And at this time when she was talking shit about me, her and I were like actually friends. Like, we would go and get breakfast. Like, she came to my birthday. Like, we would actually hang out, you know? And she was just like, she'd always say, I can't trust her. Like, I feel like I can't trust her, so I'm not going to trust that bitch. And so I invited to my birthday. She invited me to her birthday the next year. And at the time, like, her and I were definitely growing apart. She already sent me the Snapchat of her talking shit on me. But I was like, fuck. Like, I felt like I had to go to her birthday because she was complaining at work how, like, she doesn't think anyone's going to go and, like, all this stuff. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, she came to my birthday. So I was like, I kind of have to go to her birthday.
Yeah.
And low-key, like, that is the point in time where I was fake because, like, I was like already talking shit about her because I didn't like her like that anymore. But like, I also felt like she did this for me. So like, I kind of have to do that for her in a way. And that is on me. Like, I was fake for that. But I went to her birthday. It was at a winery and it was with a bunch of fucking girls I didn't know. It was like 6 other girls. No idea. All of these girls were the same font. Blonde, bimbo ass bitches. And I was like, I'm not blonde.
You're like,
I'm not
wow.
a bimbo. I'm a bimbo in a different way. And I was just like, oh, God. So I walk in. I literally didn't say one thing to any of them. I was like, hey.
Hi.
And like all of them were talking about like whatever. And I'm like, I just sat at the end of the table and I like didn't really
Like,
speak.
I gotta go.
But I already know that probably was like, oh, this bitch is coming to my birthday and blah, 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 blah. Like she probably already gave them like, what's that? Like a fucking,
the tea?
like an intro on who I am.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And that's how I felt when I walked in. And after that, her and I never talked. And then I went back to mornings. I worked with her for a little bit. I never talked to that bitch. I never talked to her. And I made it obvious. And I told my manager, I said, I don't want to work with her, so don't schedule me with her. She's like, okay, I won't. But we worked together once. She left. Thank God that bitch is no longer a part of anything. And I can't stand her. This is to you.
Fuck you. Okay. That was a good story.
Yeah.
Because fuck that bitch. And let me tell you, because sometimes we have, and this is on real friendship. Sometimes we have people where I have told Maddie, I'm like, if she's invited, please don't invite me. Yes. And she was one of those. Who was the other person that I couldn't stand? The other crackhead fucking,
yes.
The one who went.
The blonde bitch.
Yes.
They're all
they're all
fucking blonde, bitch. Yes.
No,
what's her last name?
I don't know.
The crazy one. She went crazy.
She literally went to the mental hospital because she's crazy.
The one that worked at Submarina. And Jersey Mike's. No, tell me why we went to Submarina and she was working and I was like, fuck. Because I literally cussed that bitch out.
Yeah.
And I have not seen her. And I literally told her,
she's
fuck
a tweaker.
off. Yeah. I was like, fuck off. Stop talking to me. And whatever. I blocked her. We walk into Submarina. Bitch, this bitch makes my sandwich.
Oh, great.
And I didn't say anything. I was like, whatever.
You're like, thank you.
I was like, whatever. Months later, we go to Jersey Mike's. Why the fuck is this bitch working at Jersey Mike's?
She quit. And she came back just to make
like,
your dance.
What the fuck? No, and she's another fake ass bitch.
That bitch is crazy.
No, she's crazy.
First of all, every time that bitch got invited, I literally straight up told Maddie, I'm like, do not invite me if that bitch is coming. And then was one of those people. I was like, if is invited, bitch, count me out. And
do you remember when we all slept over? It was you, me, and we slept over at your neighbor's house.
Yep.
That's insane.
That was actually a fun night, though.
That was fun. That was fun.
But she was still throwing the vibe off.
Always.
She always did.
She's a weirdo.
And that's how you really know, bitch. If she throws off the vibe every time,
she's not invited.
She gotta go.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh. I don't even want to talk about that bitch. We actually, the great part about that is that we talked about that in the drug episodes. So
we would use her. Because, like, we would just be like, okay, you're driving. So we can drink.
She's all like.
She was dead ass going to crash on the fucking freeway.
She doesn't. That bitch, eyes closed. We would be better off driving off of all the drugs. That bitch didn't see a thing.
She was so
I almost
bad.
said she didn't see a word.
That too. She was tweaking in the corner.
She didn't see a word.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So I really want to talk about.
Okay.
Because
I'm interested to hear this.
Because I think there's a lot to learn from this situation specifically.
Right.
Because after the things that had went down with, which is the person I just described about before, I was hitting rock bottom, right? Many people were cut off. Things were crazy. I was broke, first of all. I was broke because I lost my job at the time too. This girl that I was friends with, she was also friends with you. We were very close. We all went to high school together. We were friends for many, many years, even after high school. Maddie, and kind of drifted apart before me and her did.
Yeah.
But after this big situation happened and I hit my little rock bottom, she was like, oh, we should hang out. Like, I'm like, girl, she's like, we should go to dinner for your birthday. I was just like, I have no money. Like, I can't go to dinner. She's like, I'll pay for it. She was like very sweet to me, right? She was a great friend to me the entire duration of us being friends. I have no complaints about that. And then after I hit my rock bottom, we had our time where we hung out. She lived in Palm Desert, so I had to, drive to go see her. It wasn't someone I saw very often. And I started to notice after that we started drifting apart.
Mm-hmm.
Replying to me less, not really seeing me, not really like making efforts to make plans, which I was still trying to do. And I was very close to her mom and her mom's partner, which like I would literally text them. I would text her. Like we were all like, I was very close to the whole family.
Yeah.
And I remember this distinctive time, like I really was like, oh, she really just ignores me. Like she does not talk to me. Like she does not want to make plans, nothing like that. And I feel like it was just like because I think she was there for me when I really needed it. And after I gotten through it, she was just like, okay, this is a bit too much for me. And I need to distance myself from him. And I really noticed it when I was texting her mom. She was like, oh, I miss you so much. And I was just like, oh, I miss you too. But, never talks to me. And she goes, oh, I know. So I was like, oh, so they're talking about me.
Yeah.
Like, and it's very much intentional that she is distancing herself from me.
Right.
And
so weird.
I took it really like kind of personal at first. For a long time, I was just like, well, fuck her. Like she literally was just like my best friend. And all of a sudden, like she doesn't want to be my friend anymore. Like what?
Yeah.
Like and then literally like we fell out. Like we didn't talk or nothing.
Yeah.
No like crazy like specific beef, but it's just like she like for sure distanced herself from me.
Yeah.
And as time went on, like I just remember I kept thinking like, should I text her? Should I just say like, hey, like I don't appreciate that you have been not replying to me, that you have been, just so cold, like literally all of that.
Yeah.
I drafted up a text like in my notes app and I was like, oh, I'm going to send it to her when I'm ready. And I never did. And I'm glad I never did because a little bit later, as I started to grow a bit more, especially after that situation, I kind of was just like, you know what? I actually kind of respect what you did. You were there for me when I really, really needed it. And you realized that maybe our friendship wasn't for you. And you slowly distanced yourself. But you didn't leave me hanging when I needed it the most.
Right.
And that's why I feel like that story is like really important because it was one of the times that I saw somebody cut off our friendship and it wasn't me that cut it off because you and I have distanced ourselves from people multiple times. And I think of like people like that, like people who it's not like there's no beef. I don't hate you.
It's just not.
It's just not there anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to distance myself. I don't feel the need to address it because it's probably just going to make things awkward when it doesn't have to be. But I definitely have to take a step back and be like, this friendship is just not for me anymore. I've outgrown it. And in retrospect now, I really respect her because she did that. She said, she was like, this guy's not really doing things that I see in a good friendship because like he's doing these things, maybe backstabbing other people, and maybe like that's not somebody I want as my friend. But she was there for me when I needed it.
Yeah.
She was there for me mentally, literally, financially. It's not like she wasn't paying for any of my things, but like she's like, I will buy us dinner and I will take us out to golf. And she literally did. Like we went out golfing. She paid for that. Like she was there for me when I needed it. And when she realized that maybe I'm not the best friend to have, she did distance herself in a healthy way. It was no beef. It was no like, I hate you. She distanced herself.
Yeah.
And now
that is respectable.
Now I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because she's doing great. She has a baby now. She's married. She's doing whatever she wants to do. And now I can't help but be happy for her because she also supports me from a distance.
Yeah.
Like she literally like I don't really like we don't talk or anything. She doesn't like comment or anything like that, but she does make it known that she's still there.
Yeah.
In ways. But she's just not like my friend. She's like more so a supporter of like someone that we used to be friends. And it's just like it's no beef, no nothing. It's just we fell out.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the friendships I really respect after falling out, because it also kind of taught me how I can approach friendships that I feel as though aren't benefiting me anymore.
Yeah.
And I can be like, oh, there is a way to cut someone off and distance yourself
Without
in
it
a
being
way
drama.
that's healthy.
Yeah. I definitely have a different experience with her.
Yeah.
For sure. I remember like we were all really close, and I remember you told me that they were starting, like she was starting to talk about me with her mom and her mom's partner about how I would smoke weed. And I thought that was really funny because we all would do it.
We were all doing edibles
We were all doing
at
it.
her house.
And like she told her mom that, and like almost made it be like, oh, Maddie's the one that was doing it. And like I just thought it was funny because we all partook, is that the right word? Partook in it, whatever. But she made it seem like I was the bad kid because I was the one bringing it. But like, it's like if she was genuinely comfortable, like she wouldn't have done it. And two, I remember you were like, oh, I'm going to like, let me know if you want to come with me. And I'm like, yeah, I want to go. Like he was going to Palm Springs for the weekend. I was like, oh, I'm down. Let's go. And then I remember I was like, oh, I asked my mom, like, can I go? And she's like, yeah. And then you texted me and you're like, oh, actually, like, never mind. They only said me. Like, I'm the only person that can come. And so that's when I was like, oh, like, I don't really fuck with her then, because it's like, one, I knew you're talking shit about me because I smoked weed. Okay, bitch, it's all of us do it. Okay.
Right.
And then you're going to like exclude me like that just because like you don't want to get caught in a way. So for me, I don't have respect for her. And it is what it is. Well,
yeah, because like I think the way that you guys fell out was because that she couldn't just say, hey, mom, like I partook in these edibles.
Or, hey, can you not bring them? Like, oh, my mom talked to me about it. She doesn't want us doing it. So, of course, I would 100% respect that. But if we're all in a group chat, we're like, oh, we're going to get high this weekend. Okay, I have shit. I'll bring it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like my experience with her was definitely different. And it is what it is. Obviously, there's no beef. Like, I don't even think about her at all. But I definitely think, like, I do respect the way that she fell off with you, but I don't respect the way that she handled our friendship.
Right.
So.
I agree with that, because I think that the way she kind of went about speaking on you to her mom and just, like, in general, I just think, and I think, like, for me, just because you are my best friend, I've always been like the one to stick up for you, even if no one else is going to.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, Maddie does this, but we all do this.
Yeah.
First of all.
And I was the one to bring the weed into the picture. Like, I'm not going to say I wasn't. Like, I was the first one to really start smoking weed.
You put us on.
We're fucking 17 years old in high school.
Yeah. We were 17, turning 18.
That's
well,
what
at this
the fuck
point,
you do.
we were 18.
And, like, she was very much, like, a church girl and, like, all this stuff. And, like, that's fine. Do your thing. But, like, I also was very accepting to, like, how she was and her lifestyle and, like, to just everything. You know what I mean? Like, but
to pretend that you're the one bringing it in when it's, like, all of us are partaking is just a bit weird.
Yeah. So I was just like, I don't really respect that. So I fully cut her off, like, fully.
Yeah.
And that is what it is, you know?
Yeah. And it's funny because even after that, and honestly, we never
I'm
surprised that we didn't really talk about your guys' falling out as much as we should have.
Yeah.
But we both had different situations in regards to her. But I think we've learned from it regardless.
I also just think they thought I was like this like party girl, and which I was.
Maybe you were just like the person who was the delinquent, or the rebel,
the bad kid. Like, and like I kind of have been known to be like the bad kid, I guess you can say. Like, even in my family, I'm like the black sheep, where I'm like, I do all the bad shit. I'm the one that almost got arrested. Like, I'm the one, you know what I mean? And like, and I feel like that's kind of how I was in that group too. I'm a down ass bitch. That's it.
That's the thing. She's just here for the fun.
I'm just down. And it's like, I think like they just thought like, oh, Maddie, like, because they were very much like, especially she was very much in the church, and I was not. Like, I made it. No. I was not. And
I went to church with them for a little too.
I did too. I went to church with them. I literally went to church with them, and their church group leader was talking shit about me. So
that fucking, what's her name?
Betty.
Betty.
Beth, bitch. And that's when you know, like, I
Bitch,
really
you cannot trust a bitch named Beth. I will tell you that.
I really was the one that got shunned because, like, I
I'm gonna
was
leave that in.
the bad kid.
I'm not bleeping Beth.
I was the bad kid. And so nobody wanted to hang out with me because I was the one that would drink. I was the one that would party. I was the one that would smoke weed. And I also think, too, like, the last time I went over, I got my nipples pierced at house. And I remember it was like, it was literally me, her twin sister, and then this other bitch from church. And I was like, I want to go get my nipples pierced. So they drove me to this fucking studio. They all stood there in the corner while this fucking gay man was flicking my nipples to get them hard. He pierced my nipples, and I remember them just like staring at me like, oh my God, this bitch is crazy. And so then we went back to the mom's house, and I was like, I just got my nipples pierced. And she's like, show me. So I like showed her. So I feel like she always like, they just saw I was just a bad kid.
Yeah.
You know, and I was. I really was. I'm not going to lie.
It happens.
But bitch, don't act like you weren't partaking too.
Right.
Don't be fake.
All right. So we talked about dumb bitch number 1, 2, and 3. Let's talk about dumb bitch number 4.
Bitch. And
because
she
this
takes
one's
the
gonna
cake.
Reel it in, okay? I know. Should we make... We should... Thanks for making a TikTok about us, because now we're making a podcast about you.
You
Real
dumb
hot girl
fucking
shit.
bitch.
But also...
I love when bitches play the victim.
I
love
know.
it.
She's such a... Yeah, anyway. This is for you, Rachel. You dumb, stupid, oompa loompa body ass bitch. Do you remember that video?
Yes. This is for Rachel.
This is for Rachel. Okay, so this other bitch that we want to talk about, her name is, and I will, I unfortunately have to bleep it out. But this bitch, and we're gonna talk about her in a future episode that we've already recorded. But she was somebody that we were literally like a trio. Like it was just like, it was me, you, and like, that's how it was. Like we were best friends. We were like talking about our future together, how we're going to be each other's bridesmaids. Like literally like we were best friends.
Yeah.
We did everything with her. We would go clubbing.
And we were also older.
It was like bus, club, another club, another bus,
no sleep.
And it was with her. Like we would have so many fond memories and so much fun with her.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, there was a time where Maddie and I talked to each other. We were having a day just with us. And we were like, do you feel as though the vibe or the tides have shifted a little bit within her? And we both were very much on the same level. And that's why I know that we're best friends, twin flame, whatever, that type of shit, because we always feel the same thing.
Yeah. And
we both knew that she was kind of distancing herself from us. I feel like you can word this a lot better than I. So can you talk about like what it is that we realized in her to where we realized that it probably wasn't going to be a long-term relationship?
Yeah.
And what it is that went wrong?
I kind of was just honest with Roy. I felt that way for like a while, like at least 6 months, where I was just like, you know what? Like, I really kind of feel like the relationship was one-sided because we would make plans.
Yeah.
And like, we would be like, oh, let's go get food. Oh, we're going to go smoke and we're going to get food. And, or like whatever the case may be. We're going to go shopping. We're going to go this. We're going to go that. And it'd be like.
And we talk about it beforehand.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this, this, and then this.
And she would just like be like down, but then cancel last minute, or she'd be the first one to leave, the last one to get there, the first one to leave, all the time. And it also like with Roy and I, like we can sit on the couch or on the bed in our pajamas and not speak a word to each other for the 3 hours, 3+ hours. And we're fine with that.
And be like, so you want to get something to eat?
Exactly. And like we could just chill. We don't have to be done up. We could be in our PJs. We could just hang out. And it's genuine.
It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be an event. Like
No.
we don't have to be going somewhere.
Yeah.
Or we don't have to get ready to get somewhere. It's not like.
And with her, I felt like it always was like, oh, you want to hang out? And she'd be like, okay, yeah.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Where are we going?
Are we going to San Diego? Are we going to the winery? Are we going shopping? Are we getting our toes done? Like, what are we doing? And I would always just be like, we're not.
We're just
doing
hanging
anything.
out.
Yeah, like we could
just want to chill.
smoke.
Like we just want to spend time together.
And genuinely, like she would just like pretty much smoke all our weed and then leave.
Literally.
And I will never fucking forget. I will never forget. We got this delivery order one time. It was just me and her. We got this delivery order one time for weed. And it was like an 1/8 or something like that. It was like an 1/8 and like some other shit. You know, when you get a delivery, they put in like a free grinder and a free lighter and a free little shit. And so she kept all of the free stuff. Fine.
She was like, thank you very much.
Whatever, bitch. We paid the same amount. We both put in $30. It was like a $60 order. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. She pulls out the weed. First of all, it was like one giant nug. It wasn't broken up. It wasn't anything, but it still weighed out to 3.5 grams. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. This bitch broke off the smallest little piece in the corner and gave it to me and kept the rest of the nug for herself. And then I was like, oh. And like her and I were still close. So I was like, okay. It didn't sit right with me. I was like, that's kind of weird. And then later she was like, oh, like, do you want more weed? And I'm like,
in your head, you're like, yeah.
I'm like, duh, bitch. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. You should just know that. You know what I mean?
You should just be splitting it evenly.
Especially because we both put in the same amount of money. This bitch kept the lighter, the grinder, the free little gram, and then probably fucking 3 grams and gave me the 0.5. Like, truthfully. So
like, damn.
It was just never reciprocated, never like on the same level. We went to Vegas like right before our friendship like ended.
That was like, honestly, that was like the last
Hurrah.
boat to sail. Like,
no, and it was honestly the worst trip to Vegas we've ever been
worst.
on. It wasn't fun. I hated it. I wanted to come home, and I got sick the first night, which was weird as fuck. I was throwing up, and like I wasn't even drinking.
And that's not
like
normal
that.
for you, especially.
No, it was just not fun, and it was just kind of awkward, like between her and us. Like just the energy wasn't there.
Because at this point we were hanging out less and stuff like that, and you and I had already talked a couple times about how we feeling like she's just like not it, like she's just not there for us and stuff like that.
But with the trip was planned, so we're like, fuck, we kind of.
So yeah, we already booked everything.
Yeah.
The thing is, she was so like very much like. We would all be like, okay, let's do this. Let's all get our toes done. And then we'd be like, let's go get food after. And we'd be like, okay, cool. Get our toes done. We'd smoke, hang out in the car. And she's like, I actually think I'm just going to go eat at home. And it was just like the first time it's like, yeah, okay. Like, look, if you got to save money, we get it.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. But then every time it was like, I think I'm actually just going to go. I think I'm actually just going to go.
After she'd smoke all her fucking weed.
Literally. And then she's out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
It just got weird. And so we went to Vegas. We came home from Vegas. My birthday was shortly after that. We talked about my birthday when we were in Vegas or on the way home. And I was like, I want to go to the winery. Like, I don't want to do anything crazy. Let's go to the winery and like we can just have fun, you know? And everyone's like, yeah, I'm so down, whatever. I'm like, request like the day off. Her and I both worked the same job at the time. So I knew her schedule. We worked the same job, same exact place. So I knew her schedule. And so day comes, we're going to the winery. It's like the day of my birthday or like the day after. I don't even know. And so I'm getting ready to go to the winery and she texts me and she says, hey, I can't make it. Hope you have a good time. And I'm like, bitch.
Sorry?
That's just so weird to me because one, we talked about it. Like if you're not about it, don't act like you are. And like we literally talked about it not even like 3 weeks ago. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so down.
I'm requesting the day off right now.
It's going to be so fun. Like, oh my gosh, all this and that. And then day comes and she's like, sorry, I'm working. I'm like, no, you're not.
First of all, you guys both had the same kind of shit where you would get off at like what, 11 a.m.?
Yes.
And it wasn't until like 2 or 3.
We weren't even going till at the time. We literally went at like till like 4 o'clock. Like we weren't even there till 4 p.m. And this bitch is like, sorry, I can't go. I'm like, bitch, you're weird as fuck. So that pissed me off. I was like, okay, she really has drawn a line in the sand. For me, I don't expect anything from anybody. But if you're over here saying that you're my best friend and then you're gonna cancel on me the day of when it's my birthday. On your
birthday, like that. Especially like I think in friend groups we take birthdays very seriously, especially me. Like I'm very much like my birthday is the fucking day. Like you got to move everything around.
Yeah.
But it's just like that's just how you're supposed to treat your best friend's birthday.
It's
like,
just
you
weird.
Just make shit work. Like,
it's just weird.
Sure, not everything always can work out, but you make it work.
Yeah.
And I remember right after that was her birthday because it was me, then you, then her, and it was like October, November, December.
Yeah.
And she invited both of us, and you were like, I can't go. I'm so sorry.
I
was like, rightfully so. But
I literally said the same exact thing. She sent us a text in a group chat. She's like, hey, I'm having like a little thing at my house, a little brunch at my house for my birthday, blah, 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 blah. It's going to be at like 11, all this stuff. Like we're going to eat and like drink and whatever. I said, sorry, I can't go. I have work. Because that's exactly what that bitch told me.
You bitch.
I was like, I'm not going to that. Like, I'm not going to make myself available if you don't make yourself available for like the important things, you know?
I ended up going because I was just like, okay, well, she came to my birthday. Like, I got to go. I got to show up, whatever.
Right.
But I totally was like, I get you not going. Don't worry. Like, it's no big deal. And I literally went. I was like, this is not fun. This is so stupid. Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
And I left early. And after that was just like, all right, this is pretty much
we
dead.
weren't friends.
It took a little bit because you guys unfollowed each other at some point.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, damn. Like, this is
I
getting for real.
unfollowed her because I was like, you're not my friend. Like, you're not acting like it. I don't fuck with you. Like, you're not my friend. So I unfollowed her. And shortly after that, so I posted like certain pictures. I posted like a picture of this, like a summer photo dump. Then I posted a different selfie and blah, 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 blah. And so then I went and I checked on her Instagram because, bitch, we all fucking do
We
that.
all do it,
We
bitch.
all go and peep each other's shit. So I went and I looked and tell me why. And okay, so I saw the first picture and I was like, okay, maybe she's not copying me. People post summer photo dumps all the time.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. So I was like, whatever. I post my summer photo dump, whatever. I look at her next most recent picture, which was also my most recent picture. She literally had the exact same hairstyle that I did in my most recent picture. And I'm like, this bitch is copying me.
And at this point, you guys had unfollowed each other.
We had
right?
unfollowed each other. And this bitch is copying me. And the
And
thing
I was
is,
her and I were still following each other.
I literally knew that she was copying me. And I knew that she's this type of bitch because she would even do that when we were friends. If I had a certain hairstyle that day, the next time we hang out, her hair would be like that. If I did my makeup like this a certain way, the next time we hang out, her makeup would be like that. She was very, very much a copycat. And she literally was copying me for a good amount of time after we stopped being friends. And I will go to the grave knowing that she copied me. I don't give a fuck if anybody denies it. She was fucking copying me. And I remember I called Roy and I was pissed. And I literally was like, it's fucking copying me. And then he's like, I know. He's like, I saw that. Like, that's like exactly like what I thought too. And I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy then.
No, bitch. And the thing is, like, for a while, just because it's not like I had something specific that she did to me that I was just like, oh, like, that's it. That's the straw for me that I have to unfollow. But she eventually unfollowed me. And I was like, all right, bitch, like, if that's where we're going to take it, we're going to take it. Unfollow, goodbye.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, it's done. And I was kind of glad because I already did feel some type of way. And I'm always going to be Team Maddie no matter what. So it's just like, either way, like, I was already on your side. And then when she unfollowed me, I was just like, all right, like, you put yourself there. Like, that's what you did. Like, you are the one who distanced yourself. You played the victim and acted like we were bad friends or something when you were the ones always canceling.
Yeah.
You were the one who always like had something to say. You didn't want to spend time. You didn't put effort.
Yeah.
You were the problem, bitch. You, and let me say this to the camera, you, Miss were the one who put yourself where you are.
Yeah.
You don't have friends right now because you always go and snake people.
Yeah.
Every time we were telling you about the things that people did to us, and then you turned around and then did the same fucking thing.
Shit.
And then you created a TikTok saying, oh, I had a falling out with my friends. We
know.
didn't have a falling out. You fucked up.
Yeah.
You pulled back. You were fake. That is what you did.
No,
we never did a thing to you. So let me tell you, when you want to go on your little TikToks, and now that you got a fucking little journal you're trying to promote because you're trying to be like, this is what baddie girls do. You don't know about that. You need to grow because you are repeating your cycles. All you do is serial date, and that's where you're engaged to some fucking random guy that you've been in with for less than a year, and you recycle friends. Your fucking roommate pulled out and doesn't want to be friends with you because you fucked her, you fucked us, and now you got no fucking friends.
Yep.
Now you got a bitch, and I know I just went off really hard, and that's the champagne talking, and I might cut that out, but
no, but she doesn't know who she is.
You don't know who you
she
are.
Repeats cycles, and this bitch has literally had a boyfriend, and I'm not shitting on anybody, but she has had a boyfriend since we were fucking 18 years old.
She's a serial dater. She breaks up with one and gets with the next.
She doesn't give herself time to heal. That's why everything gets repeated. And she did make a TikTok about us. Literally, my coworker showed it to me because he followed her, and he was like, hey, like, I think made a TikTok about you like a while back. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't even think about this bitch anymore.
First of all, Maddie doesn't have a TikTok.
I don't have TikTok. And I think that's the funniest fucking part of it is this bitch is really posting. And the only reason why she's posting that on TikTok is because she knows I don't have a TikTok. And she knows that Royce doesn't give a fuck enough to go look.
No, bitch.
And so she
I still haven't even seen it.
She posts like, oh, my healing journey from 20 whatever, whenever.
Healing from what?
2019 to 2021 or whatever the fuck it was. And it was like, went through a breakup, got cheated on, went to therapy, blah, 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 went through a friendship breakup. It's literally a picture of me,
us.
her, and Roy. She said, went through a friendship breakup with people that I thought I would be friends with for the rest of my life.
We literally would have still been friends right now.
I'm like,
if you weren't a snake.
What?
That's so crazy too. The fact that I have no idea that there's a TikTok that has me in it.
Bitch.
And she's like saying, oh, we had a friendship breakup.
Girl,
I'm like, you
what?
are the bitch. You're the snake.
The victim mentality is crazy to me.
Crazy.
And it's so funny because I'm like, girl.
Bless you.
Like, no. Like, absolutely not. And it's so, oh my God, it's so fucking funny. And I literally talked to my therapist about this when I found out. It was a while ago. But I was like, this girl that I used to be friends with, told her the whole fucking story, whatever. I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, my coworker showed me that she made a TikTok about me, her, and Roy, saying that she had a friendship breakup with us, blah, 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 blah. And my therapist literally said, she said, anybody who is happy and content with where they are in life will never post some shit like that.
No, bitch.
Ever.
We have never posted one thing about her. And obviously, like, this is different because this is a podcast and this is where you're supposed to talk about the things that you've learned through things. And that's something that we really learned. Is like someone with a victim mentality will do everything but look within themselves to justify the things that have happened to them.
I'm like,
and it's just like, we have never done anything.
No. And it's so funny to me because I'm like, she really, and it's funny now because I literally do her roommate's eyebrows and her roommate and I were friends too. But when I cut off, she started acting, her roommate, because I worked with her roommate started acting weird towards me. And I was like, you know what, that's fine because her roommate and her have been friends for a very long time.
Right.
Longer than
and they live together. So you're just like, whatever.
And
bitch.
they live together. Exactly. So I'm not going to shit on her. But I was like, in my head, I'm like, one of these days, she's going to see who the real is. And she's going to know exactly why I did what I did. She's going to know why I unfollowed her. She's going to know why we're not friends anymore.
And she did.
And now I literally do her eyebrows and she's like, okay, like the first time I saw her, she's like, tell me what happened. And I told her everything. Then when she told me her side of the story, and it's the same shit with her. She's like, she's so selfish. She's not a good friend. She does this, and that.
She only thinks about herself.
Yeah. And she's like, saying that she's like, I was going through it at the time. She's like, I literally went through a breakup or I was going to go through a breakup. I was really depressed, all this stuff. Went and got engaged to some random she doesn't even know in Hawaii. And at the time was like sitting there being a good friend, listening to her talk about herself like she always did. And she's like, was like trying to be there for her. And then goes, you didn't even ask me about my ring. You didn't even ask to see my ring. I was like, I'm fucking sorry. I'm depressed, bitch.
And it's just like, you didn't ask her what she's going through. And she obviously had already told
exactly
that she was going through a lot. And then she's trying to rub her engagement in her face. And it's like, you can be happy for someone and still go through your bad things. But it doesn't mean I have to inquire about every single little thing. Like, they're roommates. I know you got engaged. I know you're happy in a relationship. Fantastic. I saw the ring on Instagram. Great.
Million times.
And you're just going to sit here after she just told you about what she's going through. You're going to be like, well, you didn't even ask me about my ring.
It's so selfish.
Who
it's so
fucking
selfish.
cares about your goddamn ring,
And the thing
bitch?
is, she's always been that type of person. And I literally told too, I was like, do you see why I did what I did? Why I cut her off? And she's like, 100%. I was like, I literally saw that part of years ago when I cut her off.
And the thing is, you and I, and that's the thing I remember specifically, we were washing our cars that day.
Yes.
And we were just like, there's just something off about her. Like, she's just not really there like we're there.
Yeah.
And she's always been like that.
Yeah.
And it's not that we don't do anything to her. We never went off on her. We never said, fuck you, bitch. Like, we just... And we let her do what she wanted to do. And she decided that she wanted to distance herself.
She drew a line in the sand.
We didn't even distance ourselves from her. No. She did that.
She drew a line in the sand.
And then she's going to sit here and be like...
Play the victim.
Oh, like, I had a breakup. Like, we didn't have a breakup. There was no moment where we were like, oh, we're done.
No.
It was you backed out because you couldn't be a real friend and you couldn't take that. You had 2 real friends ready for you.
Yep.
And that's just not something you wanted to have because you're just not in that position of life.
Yeah. So
stay tuned. Also, we have an episode where we talk about doing drugs where we did mushrooms with this bitch. You do not want to miss that story. That's coming in a few episodes.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I was genuinely very, very hurt by her. I was very scorned. I was very hurt for a very long time because like I said, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't consider a lot of people my friend. That's not a word I throw around very lightly at all. And when she made it clear that, like, we aren't friends, I was like, wow. Like, I spent a lot of time. We have, especially, like, and I have done a lot of shit together. A lot of shenanigans. Been through a lot. Like, we almost had like a trauma bond in a way because, like, I got cheated on around the same time. She got cheated on around the same time. So we kind of like took that and bonded over that and like ran with it. But then once she found the next best thing, she was out.
She got what she could from you and then she was like, all right, I'm good. Like, let's move on to what's next.
Exactly. So
that's just how she is. And she's
honestly, always going to be the same.
She's going to be where she is because of herself.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, while, of course, because I've had some champagne, I have some things to say to get off my chest. In the reality of things, I don't think about you, bitch. I don't care.
No.
What you did is what you did. And I'm not sitting here thinking like, oh, this is what we could have been. Like, we could have been best friends. But honestly, you taught me a lot. That you can sit here and proclaim yourself as my best friend. We're going to start a business together.
Yeah.
We literally started an LLC with this bitch.
Yep.
I had put in so much effort.
Bad Bitch Cosmetics.
I had put in so much effort to give us an official business. I created a business plan. I literally introduced both Maddie and to a website where you get your products made. I was doing so much research, and this bitch wasn't showing up to the business meetings, to the YouTube meetings when we wanted to do a YouTube channel together.
Yeah.
Like, the first video that was recorded for this YouTube channel that we were going to do, it's only Maddie and me because
like,
she pulled out last minute. That's the type of bitch that
she always did.
And if you happen to be watching, bitch, you know you're that type of bitch, and don't even try to fucking pretend that you're not. And that's all I have to say about that fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm calling you a fucking bitch because I've had champagne.
And you are.
And you are a fucking bitch, but whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
A lot of people are fucking bitches.
She definitely...
A lot of people are fake bitches, and that's fake friends.
I definitely learned a lot from her. Now I don't think, like, as much as I do wish, like, I can have, like, a group of, like, girls that I'm friends with.
It's hard.
I don't. I really don't. And if you're watching this and you want to be friends, just DM me on Instagram.
Actually, don't, because, bitch, I've had enough.
I've actually had people DM me before, let's be friends. I'm like, I can't. No,
unless your name is Tana Mojo, Brooke Schofield, or Bretman Rock, and you don't.
Or Jeff Wittick.
Yes. Don't DM us, because I don't.
She said, what the?
Yeah. Don't DM us.
I don't want to be friends.
I don't want to know. I don't care. Or if your name is Ricky Thompson. Yeah. Love you.
But yeah, we learned a lot. It is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, it's literally just Roy and I. Like, we've come to that conclusion. Like, no matter who comes in, who comes out,
we've auditioned genuinely quite a few people,
Roy
honey. And that's the thing is, like, Maddie and I have always said that over the years. It's just like, you know what? It always just comes down to us. Yeah. And even the reason why, even my mom, even our mom, like, our parents, our other friends have realized that it's just like, we withstand the test of time because we're real. Yep. And we honestly put genuine, like, we put realness and genuine, what's the word for genuine? But it's like genuinely, maybe.
Genuinely.
Sure. We put that in front of everything. Yeah. In front of my personal feelings, I'm going to put my respect for Maddie before that. Yeah. And that's literally what makes a friendship go. Like, I'm so lucky and so thankful that I have one person that can withstand that test of time to when we have things that don't always go the way that we think that we're going to go. Yeah. Or someone to call when I need to vent. Or someone to call when I want to party, when I want to drink. Like, it's just like, I at least have one person that's always going to answer that call. Yeah. So, and even your mom has always told us, if you can count how many genuine, real friends you have on even one hand,
Consider yourself
lucky.
blessed. Yep. She always says that. And honestly, like, Roy is really the only person that I can consider my friend. Like, my best friend. Like,
Yeah.
the only person that I consider my friend. Like, I don't have, like I said, I literally don't have friends. But I'm also okay with that because I have tried to have friends. And it
We've
always ends
tried.
up being the same thing. And I'm like, at this point, like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
It's funny because even like my other friends, like when they say, when cheese cough. Whenever they say, "Oh, are you bringing your friend?" or like, "Are you doing your show?" Because I mentioned today, I was like, "Oh, I'm doing a podcast episode. Are you doing it with your friend?" Everyone knows that it's just you.
Yeah.
Like, Maddie's my best friend. Like,
Yeah.
that's bottom line, and like everyone knows that, and that's what I really love is because they associate us together,
Yeah.
and it's all based on the genuine love that we show each other,
Exactly.
and everyone knows that. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And I'm grateful for that.
Till the day I
And
die, bitch.
if you are even thinking like, is this person not really like a good friend, or they aren't being a good friend, or they're doing this and that and the other, bitch, you need new friends.
Yep.
And we say this almost every episode. If you can't do drugs with somebody, then they're not your friend. If you can't sit here and cry and laugh with them, they're not your friend. If you can't sit here and be honest and real with them, they're not your friend.
If you can't sit on the couch and do nothing with them, they're not your friend.
Exactly.
So find a new one.
Find new friend, bitch.
Sorry. And
Mwah.
appreciate the people you do have and realize shit for what it is.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to end that.
Yeah.
So we've talked
A
about
lot.
many people who have done us wrong and they're fake. But I think we've benefited more so from what we learned from that.
Yeah.
And now we apply it to where we're going in the future. I feel like I'm a lot better at picking out who is here for the long haul, who is, I'm just so good at picking out like, oh, that person's not going to be a good friend, so I'm not going to keep them around.
Just so much easier to read someone.
Yeah.
And like, I know exactly the type of a person any bitch is the first sentence I speak to them. I can read people so well, and I know, okay, this is a cool bitch, or
Yeah.
this is someone I don't want to be friends with, or this is someone I can't even tell like anything to,
And I owe that to all these bitches who have done us wrong.
Yeah.
I owe it to you guys. It's like, fuck you for what you did, but because of what you did, I'm able to now realize that in other people, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. Like, I'm not going to let that go too far.
Exactly.
Period.
Put solid boundaries.
And that's on that, bitch. With that being said, it is time for our closing act. We do this every episode.
Oh, no.
We do this. We're going to do this every episode. And obviously, this is the first episode you guys are seeing, so you don't know. But every episode, we're going to close the show with a game. And it's called Finish That Rap. We're going to make a beat. And we're going to try to rap. Because Maddie and I have done that our entire lives as as friends. We've always just rhymed with each other.
Yep.
Well, let's give it a go. Let me just make sure I don't have anything else I have to say. No. Okay.
No, okay.
We're good. We're good. All right. Gwen, would you like to give us a beat, or is that
Drop the bass, spin the bass, get a lower.
just like a? All right, maybe not.
We just need to play like a sound that has.
I could just do. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
I gotta think of my first line. Okay, I always talk about pussy, so I gotta like maybe
You
not.
gotta change it up.
Okay. Okay. Yo. Young Money. Yeah. I don't do drugs, but bitch, I'm high.
And bitch, if you can't match my fly,
Then maybe you just ain't the vibe.
and honey, you really ain't that guy.
Don't ever call me asking me why.
And sometimes I don't even know why you try. Me not even being
That was perfect, though. That was so good. I don't even know why you try. All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
One more. Okay. That was good.
That was good. That's probably your best one.
Cunt? Okay. Oh, okay, ready? Yo. It's the remix. Tell me why the bitches all be cunts.
And that bitch, I'll kick that hoe like a punt.
Y'all ain't chill. You should smoke some blunts.
And don't even be acting like this is a stunt.
You was born wrong. You must be the runt.
No. Not the runt. And bitch, you're little.
You're deformed. She the runt.
You deformed. That is so funny. That was good.
That was good. That was finish that rap.
Yep.
We're going to do that every episode. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of What's the Vibe. I'm your host, Roy. Thank you, Madison, so much for joining me.
Hello.
And she'll be in the first few episodes, so keep an eye out for that. This was the first episode.
I know.
That's
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you if you tuned in and made it all the way to the end. I really fucking appreciate you. You're going to get What's the Vibe in your inbox every other Sunday. So when you get up on Sunday morning, you're going to have a What's the Vibe in your inbox waiting to listen to. This was the episode about fake friends. The next episode is called The Terrible Tales of Men. So you're not going to want to miss it. Stay on beat. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you'd like to drop a comment, best believe we will be responding because you know we're about that life, right?
Yep.
And if you're on Spotify, give us a favorite. I'm not really sure what you do for Apple, but maybe favorite us there too if that's an option. Whatever it is, just stay in the loop, bitch, because what's the vibe?
What's the vibe, bitch?
You won't know if you don't tune in.
We love you.
Thank you so much for listening. We love you.
Mwah.
Stick around.